What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the Buy the Hood podcast or webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy, and as we start off every show, that's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to everybody that supports anything we got going on, specifically the students in Buy the Hood University. I want to give y'all a special shout out, and I'm joined by my brother as always. Core, what's up, bro?
Man, I'm living good, man. Every day above the ground is a good day, man. So I can't complain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And listen, man, you know our show is designed to highlight brothers and sisters who look just like us, who are building amazing businesses and doing positive work in the community. This is a special episode, man. You know, it's going to be like a family reunion, man. We got our brother here who's been on the show probably more times than anybody else ever, but he's got a special project out. So we definitely have to have him come through. And I know y'all probably like, yo, we see y'all together on a show every Sunday, but it is what it is, man. We got our brother, Coach Carter here. What's up, Malik?
We here. What's up, fellas? What's going on? What's
Yizzo.
going on?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
shout out to the Buy the Hood audience and team members, everything else, man.
Yeah, man, I see you showing off with the artwork in the back. You said I'm gonna make them look bad today, so you're gonna put the African.
Nah, just a little bit of artwork, man. You know what? My dad was the art dealer, so I got art everywhere, man. Might as well hang it up.
I heard that. And listen, for the folks listening to this on Apple, make sure you check the video out to see this fly art he got over there. He got fly international luxury art. But with that being said, man, listen, we got you over for a special occasion, man. You know, we talk every day, but you got a special project out that we want to talk about, and I think it's important to talk about. You know, we talk about buying the hood. Tell us about your newest book that you just dropped.
So listen, I appreciate it. Like, once again, thanks for having me, man. But the book was very important, very near and dear to my heart. The book is called The Property PI: How to Find Off-Market Real Estate Deals. That's the name of the book. And you know, I wrote the book for several reasons. If I'm totally honest, the number one reason I wrote the book is because people kept asking how do they find off-market deals, how do they find good deals, and I got tired of answering that question. And then people, even after I told people, they wanted me to hold their hand. So like, okay, let me put a guide together so I could reach more people, save myself some time, you know, and actually get back to doing the business. So what the book actually does is teaches people how to find off-market deals without spending a ton of money. You know, if you're an investor, you don't have to spend money with the wholesalers. You can spend money with yourself. If you are a realtor, you can find those listings. You can find opportunities for your clients. I put an offer in a couple of weeks ago. There were 40 offers on the property. Had I found the same property for my client, I really could have had both sides of the transactions. That is legal in this state to do both sides of the transaction. And also, if you are a wholesaler, you know, then you could also find more opportunities for yourself to wholesale. So the book really serves everyone and every purpose is strictly about how I'm able to find off-market deals at a very high level.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I read the book. What I like about the book is what you're doing is you're giving people a system, right? And this episode will be a little bit different because most of our listeners probably know about your story and all that. And you've been on, and if you don't know his story, you can listen to previous episodes. Like I said, he's been on here more than anybody. But I want to get to the nitty gritty of doing some deals now because I think it's important to share this with our audience as well. Before we get into that, tell us an example of some of the off-property deals that you got. Like what are some of the prices you paid for properties by finding them off-market as opposed to like on the MLS?
Listen, I'll just start with this week. I'm not even going to go in the past. Yesterday, I settled on a lot that I could put 12 units on with a variance, hopefully, for $8,000 on this week on Tuesday or wait, what's the day? Today is 3 or 4 days ago. Doesn't matter. I bought another parcel, commercial mixed use, $2,500. A couple of weeks ago, I got one at Napa and Lehigh. For those that don't know Philly, I got that for $500. There's a lot of opportunities, and also with other properties that I did not go to settlement on. Is like there's not even the contract just yet. So I'm not going to say where it is, but there's a mechanic selling a huge parcel in Philadelphia that I can put on 41 units, and he only wants $750,000. I got another opportunity. Guy wants $500,000. You could put on that one. You could put 21 units, and so this is this week. I actually just did get one of the contract down North Philly. I'm going to put 12 units on that one. And I put that like 80,000, so houses, lots, it doesn't matter. The system works the same. It's like anything else. Like it'll work if you do.
All right. So here's what I'm going to ask you, right? Because that's hilarious, right? So, I mean, finding off market deals is the best way to go, right? Because there's less competition. But I know some folks, first of all, let me put it this way. I know in our analytics, our top markets are Philadelphia, New York, and Atlanta. So I know the folks who are listening to this from New York are probably like, 2,500, 500. They probably don't believe you, especially those folks. But even the folks in Philly, because a lot of times I can't go on the MLS right now and find anything for $500.
No,
there's nothing. I don't care any part of the city. There's nothing on the MLS. I think the lowest I saw, it might not be anything for $5,000, to be honest with you. Because I checked every day just to see what, I'll be out here looking for the junk. But with that being said, though, you're talking about lots as well as buildings. Will this system work in other markets? I know that's going to be a question a lot of folks have.
No problem. Yes, the system works anywhere in the country, anywhere in the continental U.S. It does not work in Puerto Rico. I haven't tried it in Canada. I did try in Puerto Rico. It doesn't work.
Okay, now why is that in Puerto Rico? Is there something specific about Puerto Rico that makes it?
Because it's hard because they don't report the data the same way. Like here, it's mostly done with something like a digital footprint, but they don't track the data, right? So some of the things that I use, and anybody listen, I give everything away, right? Where I get my data from is you can go to data20x.com. It's a 7-day free trial, and you can pull that up, and that's where I get my data. But because of that, you can't pull the data from Puerto Rico. And also the post office, the postmaster general doesn't report the ownership of the properties the same way in Puerto Rico as it does in the U.S. Right? So there's some things, or we can't get the data the same way from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a great place, but you just have to be there to get the opportunity. But this is right here won't work in Puerto Rico. But everywhere else, if you want to feel like Puerto Rico, you can market in Kensington, right? You can market in the Bronx. You can feel like Puerto Rico.
All right. No. So that's
wow,
dope,
man.
So, man, you said a lot right there, and I hope people listen to what you just actually gave him a site to go.
Did you just say he? No. This dude just said
you can make that, bro. You got it. Go ahead.
Make it feel like Puerto Rico, though. You wild, dog.
Listen, Malik. Matter of fact, I forgot to introduce you the right way. I just said our brother Malik. I didn't say as seen on the Jasmine brand. Man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I saw you out here on the Jasmine brand. And shout out to everybody in those comments on the Jasmine brand, man. Some of y'all are ruthless, man.
Ruthless. Listen, I got thick skin, fortunately, man. So listen, that was a funny video. It was an important video. I'm glad that it did go viral because hopefully someone listened.
Yeah, man, this is absolutely true. So, what are some of the things that you're going to do, as you start to give people this system, right? Because I know one of the questions folks will have is, will it create competition?
Mm-hmm. So I used to think that if I didn't do it earlier, right? I had a scarcity mindset, and so that's why I didn't really share a lot of my gems. Like some things I would give, but not how I found properties. But then I realized, one, I have a national audience, right? And somebody in Topeka, Kansas can use the system, won't affect me at all. And then the people like here in Philadelphia were looking for different things. Like, first of all, in Philadelphia, there's 40,000 vacant parcels alone. Yeah. I only buy a few a year. I buy less than 12. Like my biggest year, I bought 8 property. So I'm not out here trying to buy 400, 500,000 properties in a year. And if I can, it's gonna be 40 years to get there, right? Yeah. And so so there's an abundance of opportunities in this market, but also. One of the things that I teach in the group that we had. So take a step back. Anyone that buys the book get access to the private Facebook community with other developers and other wholesalers and other realtors and investors from all over the country, right? Mm-hmm. And so as of right now, it's less than 100, but it's approaching 100 people in that community. And because people are really gravitating towards information, and I did it inexpensively, right? The book is only $47, So it's not a huge number. So people are coming in and sharing information about the different markets, right? And so what we're able to do is, what I tell people is people getting money everywhere in the country, right? You don't have to. Right now, you hear Detroit, Baltimore, Philly, Atlanta. Like those are the markets that you hear over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go in Pottsville and kill it. You can go to Harrisburg, and be like big fish in a small pond. You can make millions of dollars everywhere. You don't have to worry about only being in the major markets. You can stay in Philly or stay in Baltimore and like have to compete with everybody else. But instead of being in Baltimore, you go to Towson, Maryland, right? Listen, Allentown is a lot of money. Allentown, instead of being like Newark, you can go to like Trenton or Perth Amboy, right? So you can go to smaller markets and be dominant in those markets.
You sound like you got a different product the way you talking. Like, yo, man, there's a lot of money in
Allentown.
Right? That makes sense.
Quiet town to tie it down.
I supply it now by the pound. No, but
but no, you're right. I was looking at a little. I was looking at it was in Delaware County. First of all, shout out to everybody from Chester, man, because I'm never gonna get that right. The whole Chester City, Chester County, Chester Township, that makes no sense to me. But what I will say is I was looking at some stuff out in Delaware County last week, and I came across this company. They are killing it in the county, and I've never even heard of them. But I was looking for comps, and I saw some of their names kept popping up on properties, and I went to their website. They probably got more stuff on Section 8 than the actual government does. They are killing it out in the county. So to your point, it's like, you can use the system and find little pockets where you can go put some work in. And they're looking for Section 8 homes. I mean, I know at least in this area, they need homes.
And so
they need homes.
And what I want to do personally is there's other markets that I'm going to go to, right? And I'm going to do virtual wholesaling in those markets, right? While everybody in Cleveland, Dayton is people out Dayton. In Dayton, you can buy houses for $12,000, $13,000, and Columbia. Like, it's a lot of money. Cleveland is already cheap, but people are already in Cleveland, but nobody's in Dayton. Nobody talks about like these other smaller markets, and buying things. So my goal is to do virtual wholesaling and other markets and dominate the smaller markets where there's nobody right now, and I can virtually wholesale. And then once I get that money, I'll bring it back home to Philly and to add to my rental portfolio.
Okay, so you said a lot of powerful things, right? So one I want to go back to is folks that buy the book get put into your private community, right? And that private community has other developers. So you can get to the point where you can start syndicating deals right there, right?
That's what we are doing. And that's what we are doing as of right now. Someone already sent me something in North Philly that I'm taking a look at today. I want to analyze, that they found. And someone actually got a house in Villanova. And I didn't think you could even wholesale in Villanova. I thought Villanova was no, but she got something in Villanova. I'm gonna check that out for myself. I might want to live there. I'm gonna check that one out. But
for the folks
as a matter of fact, I found my system. I found the other day a guy. I found this on Friday. I think it was Friday. It was Friday. He lives on almost 3 acres of land in the city of Philadelphia. I didn't even know anybody had that much land in the city, but he lives on 3 acres of land in Philly.
I live near the park.
And listen, I mean, it's his land, and he's ready to let it go. And I thought also about living, like buying that and actually living there. It's just a small house that he lives in, but the land, like almost 3 acres in the city of Philadelphia. I mean, I had no idea.
A couple things, right? For the folks that don't know, like, just do your Googles, look up Villanova to see what Villanova looks like, because it's surrounding Philadelphia. A lot of people think Villanova is Philadelphia because of the basketball team.
That's right on the border of that of the richest people in the country, or the highest property in the country.
But anyway, getting back to with your point though, it sounds like you're going to have an overabundance because now that you're running the system, you're going to have a lot of leads. So, and you said you don't want to buy everything. So what are you going to do? Like, so, are you just going to put the other ones on the market to sell?
No. So what I do is I share with my team first. right? So I share the opportunity with my team first. If I can't pick it up, my team don't want it, then I'll put it out to the general masses. That's what I do personally, you know. And so I have a small group of people, like some clients and some friends that I work with. But as the deals, be quite honest with you, every deal that I got since Friday was $1 million deal, including the opportunities today. If they're once they're built, there'll be like a 5.5 million and 3.4 million that you know, that almost 3 acres of land. I got another. This one guy wants to sell me his backyard for $1 million. It's his backyard, but his backyard is massive. His backyard is 15,000 square feet, and he wants to sell it for $1 million. And I've got all these. These are every last deal I've gotten since Friday. 4 or 5 deals was $1 million plus deals. And mind you, I'm not even looking per se for $1 million deals. I'm looking for deals, right? And now it's just the system is working and it's bringing me $1 million opportunities, multi-million dollars. So now, so before I never thought about raising capital, but now I'm going to consider a capital raise to do some partnerships to do some of these bigger projects.
Listen, man. So for the folks, you got to get in that community, and he's not lying though, because Malik sent me several deals. I just, you know, crypto got me thinking about something else, but but he definitely sent me the deals though, because the system works. So what is some of the feedback outside of yourself, some of your students that have went through that process? Like you talked about the one in Villanova, like what other success stories do you have?
So I got a one gentleman, he's a brand new realtor, and I actually posted a live with him on my page. The day he started to get everything set up, he made 2 appointments for he made an appointment for the next day. There's another realtor, she's experienced, and she got 2 appointments in Cedar Park neighborhood. If those that don't know, those 2 appointments are about $450 to $600 listing opportunities. I don't know.
$600,000. You mean
$600,000 listing opportunities. I don't know if she got the listings, but I know she had the appointment set. You know, and every day people are getting opportunities, but because the system works, like people would like to sell properties, right? There's all types of, there's stuff that's distressed, stuff that's not distressed. People just want to downsize. You know, people want to move. You know, move away. People are just getting old. You know, people want to sell properties, and what happens is, like people like me, like as a realtor, I don't service these people, right? Most time, realtors go for the lowest hanging fruit, which are the people that contact us on social media. I want to buy or sell a property, right? Most realtors are not spending any money in marketing. Know that, right? So if you're a realtor spending money in marketing, you're going to dominate your market as long as you're the right copy, the right messaging on your and the right consistency, right? You're going to dominate that market. Right. I'm sorry, real quick.
Go ahead, finish.
And also realtors that do market, they only market to the higher end neighborhoods because it's like, why am I going to spend X amount of dollars marketing here, but my commission is only going to be $4,000? I can spend that same money and market over here, my commission can be $15,000. And so there's huge parts of the country that no one services. So it's plenty of opportunity.
So that's what I want you to talk about. Like this system you have and what you talk about and teach in your book, it's not just for investors. If somebody's watching this and they're like a real estate agent and they're looking just to generate leads for their business, this works that way as well. So when they get those leads, instead of trying to make the purchase, they can list them, right?
Right, exactly. Listen, if you want to, and it all really depends on like your data set, like what type of properties are you going after? Are you going after, you can filter all these out in data20x.com, right? Are you going after foreclosed properties or pre-foreclosure? Are you going after expired listings, vacant land, vacant properties, commercial apartment buildings? You know, you could farms. You know, you want a hospital, you want hotels. You can filter it all out. And right now, listen, I'm willing to bet right now that if someone decided to only focus on hotels, that within 2 or 3 months, they'll have several hotel offerings.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. But I want to talk about something else you said I found interesting, right? As a fellow agent, you talk about real estate agents or realtors not spending money on their business, not marketing. Why do you think that is?
Because like people get into the real estate because as a part-time job, right? A lot of people, most of the realtors aren't doing it as like a full-time job. They're doing it to make a little bit of extra money here or there. And then the ones that are kind of doing it seriously might not necessarily understand business, right? They might understand, how to be an agent, but it's a whole other thing to run a business, understand marketing. And then marketing is expensive, and if you don't get the return you want, if you don't have a system, then you could spend a lot of money. That's why I wrote the book, so it gives you the exact system to use to spend the least amount of money to get the maximum results.
Okay, yeah. See, I thought it was important to have you on it and talk about the book, right? Because it's some actionable items in what you said. First of all, if you're an agent and you're watching this, understand that you have to treat it like a business and not a hustle, because those are two different things, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is you've actually given the folks a site where they can go grab data, but they don't have the full system. And the book and the group that you put together is like literally $47. So we're gonna make sure we share that with everybody. Check the links within the description as well as the show notes if you're listening to the audio. Because it's some very powerful information, man, as a way to start to get some leads for some properties. Because a lot of times that's the question I get too. How do I start? How do I start? Always start by investing in yourself. One of the ways you invest in yourself is get a system, right?
Get information.
And also is if you find a deal, if you buy right, you can make mistakes and still make money. I just did a property that I had so many problems. COVID was a problem. I was a problem. The contractor was a problem. Illinois was a problem. The architect was a problem. It took me a year and a half. But because I bought right and I did an excellent product, I was still able to come out like a bandit on that property. Is you have to, if you are going on MLS and you're paying top dollar, or even going with a wholesaler paying their fee, like that fee could be really going to you, right? For your mistakes, for the things that come up, you can already have that money in the pocket, and like, listen, wholesaler provide a service, and they're needed because you're only going to find your deals, but you could also get deals from wholesalers, right? Wholesalers service everybody, but there's nothing wrong with betting on yourself and getting opportunities yourself with no competition.
Yeah, man, you out here killing your own food, and that's powerful. You get as many appointments and opportunities as you want to.
And I'm gonna tell you this, and none of these $4 million opportunities that I got over the course of the weekend, a wholesaler would have bought me. They would have, if they bought them to me, they would have charged me all the way up for them. But now I have an opportunity to get them at cost. And not only that, one of the owners wants to do a partnership, but I don't have to put any money up. I just have to develop the property, and he was a percentage. So I'm negotiating that one right now. So this is a major opportunity that I got because I was able to get a hold of the owner and build a rapport with him and build confidence that I can do this. And he's like, okay, let me be a partner. You don't put the money up, you just build it, and we'll be partners. So the opportunities, no wholesaler would have given me that opportunity. No realtor would have even thought about doing that for their client.
And what's crazy is, if you wanted to, you could have wholesaled it yourself.
I still could. I still might.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So even someone that wants to get into wholesale, and this is opportunity for you as well.
Sure.
So
man, you servicing the whole real estate community with this. Like this is powerful stuff, man. Like people not really recognizing what you're saying right now. Like literally, if you're in any part of the game, you can get value from this book. And so, like, for those people just starting, for those people with experience, new realtors, old realtors, people in, East Jablit, over in little small towns, people in big towns that where people not really locking it down right. Like you just really just said, like, anybody with a little bit of hustle and some smarts can go get it for real.
Listen,
$47.
This is why I told Malik, I was like, yo, you gotta come back to the show, bro. I said, because listen, I know it works. Me and Malik talk all the time, and he hits me up like, "Yo, I got another one for you. Got another one for you." I'm like, "Damn, where you keep getting these leads from?" He like, "Yo, they only want $5,000. They only want 2,500. Give them 500." I'm like, "Yo," I'm like, so when I saw that, I'm like, "Yo, you got to come on the show and talk about this because we talk about building businesses, but I wanted to actually have you on to talk about some actionable steps." And getting off-market deals is paramount in the real estate business. And as you just said, Corey, it doesn't matter what aspect of the business you're in. If you're a broker, you can use this to give your agents leads. Like imagine that. Imagine as you're a broker and you got a bunch of agents working for you. You send them out there. Now you really can scale up because now you're leveraging time. So, I mean, so many folks can use this, man. What has been the reception when you talk to other like agents or brokers across the country?
Man, so I've talked to more investors so far than agents. Like I said, the agents I've spoke to here in Philly, they already doing deals. They already getting appointments set. But the investors are the ones that are really taking off. Like I had an investor today. She found one, but she never even set up her financing. She got a deal on the contract. So she's asking me how to finance it now. She just went full steam ahead and she already got an opportunity. So now the investors are definitely taking advantages more so than realtors, but realtors are the ones I think that they can really take advantage. And I'm a huge advocate of realtors. Realtors, you need to be your biggest client. These hoes ain't loyal. These clients are not loyal. They are not. They're not. You need to be your biggest client.
That right there, what you just said, it took me a decade and a half to realize that, right? I don't even really take on clients as family, friends, or referral at this point. I'm my only client because that's the way you actually scale up a real estate business is to be your client. Right.
Yeah, so right now you're doing the hardest part of this business is finding the deal. You're going to spend all your time, effort, and energy, all your money to find a deal and give it to somebody else. Listen, my mindset changed a couple of years ago. I had a great, I still have it. It's a great client, right? I found an opportunity, like 3-4 houses, right? And on this last house, mind you, my wife was still pregnant at the time. So this is probably almost 3 years ago now, right? And on this deal, the fourth deal that I got on at the time, I was like, well, listen, it's off market. I'm going to just put $2,500 on it and, whatever. Because mind you, I find him the deal. I get the listing as a realtor. It works, right? And so this fourth one, I was like, listen, I'm just going to put $2,500 on it. And he was like, nah, make it $1,500. And I'm just joking around with him like, yeah, baby, you in a way, mad bills to pay, $2,500. And he texted me back, stop being greedy. I'm like, oh, damn. Wow. I'm like, wait a minute. On these 4 houses, you're making $500,000 profit from flipping these houses. I'm going to make money as a realtor for sure. Yes, I'm going to get, I don't know the made, but $60,000, $70,000, whatever I'd have made it as a realtor, but on those transactions, I forget what it was, but $1,000, I'm being greedy. At that moment, I started being greedy. That's when I started to like really acquire for myself at that moment. And I knew like, damn, I'm gonna do $500,000 and the extra 1,000, I'm being greedy. Like, nah, I'm going for self right now. And I started going all the way in. And that's when I really perfected it. But once again, like I really still had the scarcity mindset because I know deals are getting kind of tight for us flipping out here. But it's like now that because I was really being inconsistent is why I feel like it was tight, right? So after that situation, right, I would do some marketing and I would get a deal. Then I would stop marketing and I would fix it up for rent or sell or whatever the case. So then it would take me weeks to find another deal again. And I'm just taking like the first kind of decent deal to come through. When I realized that was really a mistake. Even if I had a deal, you never turn your marketing off. Once you start, you never turn it off because you don't know when an amazing opportunity can come. Even if you can't afford it right now, you might in a situation like this where the gentleman want to partners with me to do a deal. So you never know what the opportunity is. So once you get started, you never turn the system off unless you're out of the business. At that point, you turn it off. But as long as you're in the business, I don't care if your hands are full. I don't care if all your money is out. I don't care if your baby is crying. It don't matter. Never turn your marketing off.
Man, that's a gem, man. I don't even want to take no more after that because that right there is everything, bro. Because you gotta have something in that your pipeline gotta be full, right?
Yeah. And listen, mind you, all these deals I'm finding, I ain't call him for none of these deals after that. Stop being greedy, no problem. I will.
Wow. Yeah, everything go to you now. Everything go to you now. Never turn your marketing off. I think we got a show title, Corey.
Yeah, man. That was powerful.
So never turn your marketing off. Listen, bro. I'm glad you came on. You know, I asked you to show up. You pulled right up but I think this is important to get this information out to the folks to really talk about your book because, again, I've seen the results of it. I see some of your students online. Some of the students that you have are in our group as well. So I know it works. And because of that, I wanted to bring this to our audience on our podcast because I get a lot of questions from the podcast about getting started in real estate, right? We talk about all the asset classes. We talk about business ownership, but a lot of our stuff is on real estate. And a lot of people are looking where to get started. And your system is a great place to get folks into the game. So I just want to say thank you for coming through and talking.
No problem at all. But listen, I know you want to exit, but let me tell you this one. I wasn't going to share this, but I'm compelled to share it, man. So
let's go.
One of the things that we do in the group is not only we're going to start doing partnerships in the group, but also one of the things I'm putting together is we're going to start to take over areas, right? Areas where you see there's nothing, where there's no value. If we got hundreds of investors all of a sudden, we all focus in that one area. Now we're getting it at rock bottom price and working together. We can really create the ecosystem and create the neighborhoods that we want anywhere in the country. That's what I'm on right now. Like putting together an army of investors that we could really come together and create the neighborhoods that we need, that we want.
Wow. Wow. That's fire. Yeah. I got 2,500. Like, never mind.
You got 2,500.
I got about 5 racks. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it.
No, it's all good, bro. Listen, man, I just want to say thank you, man. Listen, you know, by the time this come up, man, I'll see you in a couple of days, man. We got a fishing trip coming up, man.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fun, man. But everybody, listen, make sure that you take a look at this book, right? I'm going to put the link within the description. I'm going to put it in the show notes on the audio. Just go take a look at it. And if you want to get involved in real estate, this is a great place to start because outside of everything he said, just a networking piece of being around other investors, that's very powerful. And you'll be able to learn a lot just from the community that it puts you in. But I thought it was imperative to bring you on and talk about this book because, you know, it's a short book, but it's a great book and it's actionable items. It's not just like, you know, something where you're pontificating about how great you are, how great you want somebody to be. It's about, yo, do this and do that, and you get results. So just want to say thanks again, bro.
Now, listen, thank you guys for always giving me a platform to bring awareness to what I'm doing.
Absolutely, man. Corey, you got anything for the brother before we get out of here, man?
You know, Malik, my man, but I'm still impressed by, you know what I mean? When you sit next to somebody who basically you just feed the whole ecosystem, that's love, man. I really love and appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. And listen, by the way, check us all out. We all do a show together on Sundays called the Black Wealth Project. It's not just us three. There's 6 of us total. The Finance Rebel Kamari. We got Courtney, the Ivy Investor, and Real Estate Tracy, where we come and talk about Black Wealth, just subjects every Sunday. So make sure you look up the Black Wealth Project. But also check Malik out on Instagram. That's where he's on there, you know, going live and he be going crazy on them. I see you going live all crazy this past couple of weeks, man.
I took a break for the last day or two. I'm getting ready for this trip. But listen, I'm gonna be live all next week. I promise that.
All right, I heard that. So listen, man, make sure you follow him on IG as well, real estate _coach _Carter. You know, take a look at everything we got going on, but make sure you check out this book, man. It's very important, man. We want to start building our own neighborhoods, right? By the hood, we're going to start building our own neighborhoods. And here's part of the system that's going to allow us to do that, man. So until next time, everybody, as we always say, listen, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we'll see you chumps on top. Peace.